And the top switch is you can do photographs or video. What is that? Oh, that's the leaf. Woo! I love that plant. I love that plant. I love those leaves. Thank you, Birdie. You can go now. I got you. Oh, my cocoa's getting cold. Yum. Yum. But then because you have the liquors in it, it tastes like a mudslide at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, or like those cocoa mocos you buy in the store.
I don't have those.
No, it's like a moo or something. Cocoa moo or... in those plastic little pint things. Slow-mo. Mono came home when the school bus stopped in front of the house, dropped him off. I'm in the shop working on the little house on the camper thing, sweating. And he goes, "Hey, you want the last hit? It's still cold." Thanks. He had come down, he cut the flu at school.
No. Oh, no. Are you kidding?
Well, that's the only time I ever had the flu, and it only lasted a day. Because I got the magic lemon tree. That tree has had lemons on it as long as I've been here, 365 days a year.
That's where you got that lemon from on your kitchen?
Yeah. And there's some probably out there right now that are holding the tree down because they're this big.
They look like papayas since they're big.
Oh,
well, maybe not that big.
Yeah, they are.
They're big.
I have gotten them like 5 pounds off that tree. I put some of that CBD stuff on here last night. I don't know if it'll do any good. But, you know, what do you call it? Placebo effect. Look at the little guys. They do a school. Little schools. And they've acclimated to the thing, so...
They seem pretty happy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really the only thing for that pond that's left is coating it, putting the solar pump on there, and getting Ron to clear all the weeds around the side so I can like bring all these kinds of flowers.
Yeah.
You know, and then you get that stuck in there, and then the other stuff. And heck, I'll have them come over once a month and, you know, pull out weeds and keep it nice. You know, have them come over for, you know, $50 for a few hours is definitely worth it. Actually, I had that arrangement here when I first moved in with the landlady. Guy, Rose's ex-husband, late husband, he mowed the lawns, and you know, it's over here for $50 a month. And the landlady said, and you have to pay, you know, to keep the property up. You know, I hire that guy, he's $50 a month. I said, well, I'll do that myself. And I went and bought a lawnmower at Walmart. And I was pushing it. And I went through about 3 or 4 of those, and took them back. And then I think I had the first puppies and bought a riding mower, a Sears Craftsman. That lasted 10 years.
Yeah.
And then I got the horse, so I didn't need to replace it until Leslie moved in there. And then when I collected insurance on a guy who was a drunk driver down the street, and I was sitting here and that doesn't sound good, but let's take a look at that. So we walked outside, and here's a Ford Bronco with the front end wrapped around like a telephone pole on one of my ohia trees. Right there on the road, in my fence. I'm going, oh, well, I got to fix the fence today because of the dogs. Whose car is this? There's nobody there. He's gone.
He took off?
Took off. Wasn't his car, it was his girlfriend's car. But his cocktail and vodka, cranberry and vodka cocktail is sitting in the dash cup whole thing. So the windows are open, so I just take the camera and I'm taking pictures of it, the skid marks, the tree, the this, the that, the cocktail, the license plate, call the cops and go, hey, you reported an accident, bring a tow truck. Drunk driver left the car in the middle of the road. So they come out with a tow truck, they write it all up, tow it away. I get the police report, and I call up a few weeks later and go, hey, so did you ever find out whose car that was, and whose insurance do I need to go after, And so they told me, and so I got a hold of it. They gave me an insurance company. Luckily, she was insured, and but I didn't hear anything, so I called my friend who's a prosecuting attorney. Hey, Mitch, can you check with the PD and say, like, hey, damage my property, And so next thing I know, I get a phone call from the insurance company, and I go, we understand you'd like to file a claim. Yeah, good deal. I'll, give me the info, and I'll let you know how much it is. So I call the fence company and ask them how much for 100 feet of fence hog wire to be stretched, laid out, and that was like $1,500. And how much? And I got 3 estimates, and because they're expensive, labor and guys, and the tree they hit was an ohia, and it's dead now. So I went across the street and asked Sean, do you sell ohia trees? Yeah, but not many because they grow so slow. They grow a millimeter a year on their rings.
Really?
So if you have a tree this big around, it's 100 years old. If you got one this, it's 200 years old, 300 years old. I have some you can't wrap your arms around. So they're as old as a lava flow. Or one of the lava flows, because lava flows will go around it and you're in a kipuka and that tree keeps growing. Some of these guys are hundreds of years old. Especially these mangoes. These mangoes are hundreds of years old. But he goes, but when I do, they're only like 2-3 feet tall. I go, well, how much a foot? He's like $75 a foot. I came out there, did the calculation on the shadow and the measuring. I got, okay, I got $900 for my tree. I got like a couple grand. And I told Leslie, hey, I got a couple grand. You kick in a couple grand. We'll buy a riding mower so we can do both lots. I'll do your front and I'll do your thing. And she said, okay. And so we got the John Deere, and for a couple years that was good. And then there was, she gave me her interest. I think it was either cutting the $3,000 trees, because she did pay me for that, or it was the finder's fee for, it was something. So we made a deal, so I own it now. And she's not even here. She was going to buy a house in Kona, last I heard, around the corner from the lady that has also bought 2 Great Danes from me.
That's so funny.
Another Carol, whose husband owns the big, a boat, Big Bill Fishing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, anytime I want to go out and discount, thing, I can go big. Never done that yet, but they give me a deal. I have gotten marlin and, fish when they come over for another puppy. They bring me Ziploc bags of dried marlin. Oh. Yeah, I got lots of good friends. Bum friends, I get rid of quick. Because they will drain you and suck you dry.
Yep.
And they'll bring their drama to you, or if you let them bring their drama to you once, like Melissa down the street, she got robbed twice. And where's the first place she goes? She doesn't call the cops. She comes to my house. Peter, I'm not your daddy. But all right, I'll come down. So I go down there. I go, all right. Number one, they went through your screen with a key because your window wasn't even closed. What do you got to put burglar bars on your house? What about that cyclone fence laying over there? What's that for? That's an old kennel. Let's cyclone fence over your windows. And that stopped the burglary. It's ugly as shit, but hey, get a dog. I even brought 2 of my puppies down there to let her, I put them on runs. So they would think, okay, now she's got dogs, we ain't coming back.
Yeah.
And that worked. But then I helped her sell that house, that shack, with the water on a car battery and a little pump like this for the sink water. You know? And the refrigerator wasn't plugged in, so you put ice in the top like an ice box. She sold that for $100,000. Because I went over there, I sprayed the roof with paint. I put some soffits on the side and painted them. And I took the photographs for the real. I said, let me, don't let the real estate agent take the pictures, or you'll end up with ones like we saw on the line there. Let me take the pictures. And I would take pictures of the new soffit I put up, that new paint with the mango leaf and the palm leaf, you know. I took art photography of her house. It was bought sight unseen on the internet through the agent for $100,000. She bought a house down, a 2-story house down there for $150,000. Unfortunately, she didn't put all of the 100 into it. And she put in like half, 75. Played with 25, and then she had a mortgage. She didn't have a mortgage over here. And I don't know if she lost that house or not. But she was the one that was driving a new car that she owed. I think she got it from Iona Cars, and I think it was a similar 4-door sedan, one of their old rentals, and it crapped out on her. I think she got in an accident too and spent the money on something else, not getting the car fixed. So, yeah. Life and times. Not as bad as the mainland. No one's getting killed by drive-by shootings. None of that stuff. No school shootings. I think the only mass shooting Hawaii's ever had was in the Xerox company on Oahu.
Yeah.
I think seven guys were shot. 7 employees were shot. It was from a disgruntled employee. Come on!
Down. Down.
Oh, God.
Oh, those old bones.
Oh. No, you stay down. Because he springs up like a puppy. There you go. Drop that butt. That's a good boy. You like that. You're a nut. You like the pats, huh? Yeah, that baby. You're a baby. You're a big baby. Well, time to take the horse out and the goat out. We'll see you guys later. Again, if anybody wants to get pond liner, that's the next step. If there's any left over, I'll do this one too. Hui ho.